Hi there, Hooriya. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting this essay for you. I understand that your exam is coming up very soon, and you would like some feedback on your essay. So let's take a look and see what you wrote here. This is the topic about prisoners talking to teenagers about crime. Let's see what you said. The time spent in jail helps few people to self-reflect and become better citizens. Often these offenders can be considered good storytellers for the teenagers. While I agree that teens can learn from their experiences, I do not think that they are the best people for advice. Okay, this is all right in a lot of ways, but there are a couple of things that I want to ask you about. First of all, when you say here few people, do you mean almost none, or do you mean a handful? Depending on what you mean, then you should either have an A in front of few or no A. So I'm not really sure here. When you say that it helps few people to self-reflect, it means that you think almost none. So you can see that the addition or the not including that A really makes a difference in the meaning here. Okay, let's see, the time spent in jail helps. I would have said it a little differently. I would have time spent in jail can help some people to self-reflect and become better citizens. Often these ex-offenders can be an excellent influence on teenagers. Okay. Um, and then here I think I want some sort of a contrast word. I think I want something like, however, while I agree that teens can learn from their experiences, I do not think they are the best people for advice. Okay, so do you see how I've changed it a little bit just to make the flow a little better, a little more connected? Okay, I hope so. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. Let's move on though. Prisoners can go through many experiences, including good and bad ones. Therefore, they can certainly help teenagers in understanding the repercussions of crime and why one should avoid it. It is true that they know the whole picture, as they have gone through different obstacles of life, such as the time spent in the prison, or what actually led them to committing not just fraud. Careful, you don't know for sure that we're just talking about fraud. That's just one type of crime. So, you could have said a lot of words here. Let's see. Or what actually led them to engaging in an illegal activity. That would have been a nice expression. Or what actually led them down the path of crime, or what led them down the wrong path. I mean, there are a lot of different things you could have said. And eventually ending up in jail. They can also share their emotions and regrets, which only can be felt by the prisoner. Thus, they may help teenagers learn from their mistakes. Okay. However, ex-offenders are not the best people for advice because, careful with your typing, they committed a crime and as a result spent time in jail. Okay. Hence, society needs to remember that and be cautious of it. In addition, there are many offenders who are not all good citizens and tend to go towards crime even when they are out of the prison. This, in turn, can also be dangerous for the young who are in such company. So, ex-offenders cannot be considered as role models for giving best advice on crime. Okay, so let's talk about this. You just told us that because they went through this experience that, they can really give you the whole picture and that they're so good at it. So here, it doesn't make sense for us now when you say because they committed a crime and they spent time in jail. All right, you need to just kind of reframe this in a way that it makes sense and that it doesn't sound like you're contradicting yourself. Okay, so let's see if we can change that somehow. However, ex-offenders are not the best people for advice because not all of them have learned from their mistakes. Okay, maybe you could say that. In fact, many ex-prisoners return to a life of crime when they are out of prison. and when they were out of prison. So just connect it a little better here, okay? And then you say that they could be dangerous to the young who are in such company. Okay, why? I felt like some of this was not really well supported. And anytime you make a statement where you're asserting some sort of an idea, you have to ask yourself why. So, okay, great. You say something, but do you actually explain why? And here, this for me definitely had a why. They can be dangerous. Really? Why? Okay. Um, let's see. All right. On the other hand, the elders in a society or teachers at school are in a better position to help the young understand why they need to avoid crime. Parents and teachers together influence the mind of the teens and therefore are the best choice. Okay. Now, um, we don't typically support a 5-paragraph structure. We typically say that you should have a 4-paragraph structure with an introduction, a conclusion, and then 2 body paragraphs. So having this little 2-sentence paragraph is really not in your best interest for a couple of reasons. But primarily, it's something that affects your coherence and cohesion score. It's not a very, it's not considered a paragraph. I mean, it is, but the examiner is going to look at it and say, okay, you've included another body paragraph, but it's not well developed. And so for that reason, I would say either take this out completely or somehow incorporate it into this, into another paragraph. Okay, let's see. Okay, so also, when I said that you need to develop it a little more, this also has some whys for me as well. So take a look. You say that the elders, teachers are in a better position to help the young. Okay, why? And then you say parents and teachers influence the minds of teenagers. Okay, why? So you need to explain this to us a little bit. All right, so why do you talked about the elders, you talked about teachers, and then you say that they influence minds. So you have to explain to us why you think this. What proof do you have? Can you give us an example? Can you give us something that supports this idea? Okay, but again, I think that it should have been somehow incorporated elsewhere. All right, let's move on. In conclusion, young minds are more influenced by their peers in the wider community than a person who has been an ex-criminal. Okay. In the future, more responsibility should be taken by them in making the young better citizens of the country. All right, now this feels also a little strange to me because now you're saying that they're influenced by their peers. Here, however, you didn't talk about their peers at all. You talked about adults, you talked about parents, and you talked about teachers. So that's also a little strange to me. Uh, so I would have liked to see your conclusion reflect a little better what you wrote in your body paragraphs, okay? So those are some of the things that I want you to think about. I saw a lot of nice things in your essay. I can see that, you've got some nice grammar, you've got some nice vocabulary, and that's really important. That's a great place to be starting from. But in terms of task achievement and in terms of coherence and cohesion, it's an essay that needs a little work. Not a lot. And in fact, you're super lucky because what we're really talking about here is just some test taking skills. And these test taking skills seem to be more easily acquired than grammar or vocabulary. So that means that for you, with a little feedback, with a little preparation, a little work, you can certainly overcome some of the weak areas of this essay and certainly be on your way to scoring what you need for your IELTS. Now, I know you don't have a lot of time, but we do have enough time to get a couple of essays underway and get them back to you. I certainly would like to see what you're doing with a task 1. So if you can sign up maybe for some more essays with us, I'd love to continue helping you, okay? So whatever you decide, the choice is yours. I hope we get to continue working together. So I want to wish you lots and lots of luck.